Every great startup begins with this huge, world-changing vision. But what happens when that amazing idea crashes head-on into a spreadsheet? Today, we're going to dive into the founder's financial blind spot, that dangerous gap between a brilliant concept and the numbers that decide if it lives or dies.
This really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. So many founders are driven by this incredible passion, a really clear mission. They know why they're building what they're building. But when you ask about the financial story, things can get a little fuzzy. And that fuzziness, it can be absolutely fatal.
And this is exactly where the dream meets the hard, cold reality. Look, if you can't articulate your financial plan, your costs, your revenue drivers, your actual path to making a profit, you simply will not get the funding you need to grow. It's the ultimate roadblock. Simple as that. So, just how big is this problem really? Let's take a look at the data, because the numbers themselves tell a pretty stark story about the challenges founders are facing every single day.
Get this, a staggering 65% of startups are operating on a financial knife's edge. They have less than half a year's worth of cash to keep the lights on. I mean, can you even imagine that amount of pressure?
And here is the direct result of that pressure. Nearly a third of all failed startups don't go under because the idea was bad. Nope, they fail simply because the money runs out. This isn't some minor issue. It's one of the main reasons that brilliant businesses die.
Okay, so we've established the problem, and it's a big one. But the good news is there's a way to bridge this gap. It's all about learning how to translate those big, world-changing ideas into a concrete financial plan that people can actually understand.
What's really interesting here is the human side of all this. The struggle to connect your goals to a financial plan isn't just an accounting issue. It directly leads to a massive loss of confidence. Just imagine standing in front of an investor or a potential partner and not being sure of your own numbers. That uncertainty, they can feel it.
So how do you build that unshakable confidence? Well, it comes from having a plan that you don't just understand, but that you can explain with total conviction. Let's break down what a plan like that actually gives you. And listen, this is about way more than just a spreadsheet. We're talking about tangible results. You get a working financial model that's built on real data. You get visibility into your cash flow so there are no nasty surprises. You identify the key performance indicators, the KPIs that actually drive your business. You can test out different scenarios for growth. And most importantly, you get the confidence to lead.
Those outcomes sound pretty great, right? But how do you actually get there? Well, it's not magic. It's a structured, repeatable process. Let's see how it all comes together, step by step.
So this is the whole journey. It starts with discovery, where you really nail down your business model and every single cost. Then you ground that model in reality with real data and smart assumptions. From there, you build the actual financial projections for the next 1 to 2 years. Now this part is crucial. You then test those projections against different scenarios, like what if sales are slow? What if we get a huge contract? And finally, you create a simple KPI dashboard to track your performance against that plan in real time. It's a logical path from confusion to total clarity. And the key is, you don't have to figure all this out alone. This entire framework is often taught through guided coaching, because the goal isn't just to get a document, but to build the skills and the capability to own your numbers for good.
Ultimately, this all comes back to one thing. It's not just about the numbers on a page. It's about the feeling you have when you know those numbers inside and out. It's about having the confidence to make bold decisions and to actually lead your company's growth. This quote just summarizes the whole purpose, right? Financial literacy isn't a nice to have for an entrepreneur. It's a fundamental right. It's about empowerment. It's about giving you the tools to own your financial story and stand behind it with absolute conviction. So let's make this personal. Right now, this very second, could you sit down with an investor and clearly explain the 3 to 5 key metrics that truly drive your business? And beyond that, could you tell them not just some random number, but the exact amount of investment you need and precisely how that money will maintain the financial health of your company?
Let's get even more specific. What are the fundamental unit economics? The revenue and costs associated with a single customer or a single product that are the engine of your business. And finally, the most important question of all. Your financials aren't just a collection of data. They're a narrative. They tell a story about your past, your present, and your future. So what story do your numbers tell? Knowing that answer, that's the key to building with confidence.